सुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं सर्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि.
It's with great anguish and pain that we are bringing to you a very sad and a very heartening news of yet another attack, a persecution incident that has happened to one of the spiritual embassies of KAILASA, situated in Thrishulam. Long is the history of persecution of Hindus. Long is the persecution of Hindus to be underestimated and not even being talked about, not even being heard. The voices of Hindus have been completely silent. The thousands of years old persecution by various colonial groups, and even after independence, so many other incidents, so many of other genocidal incidents happen. You know that it becomes just completely painful to see incident after incident relating to the same anguish, same pain, and same kinds of problems that the Hindus are facing globally. The human rights violations that Hindus are facing have reached a child-rated limit. And we need to see what is really happening. The world community, the international community needs to see what is happening. And that's what we are here today, to narrate the recent incident that has happened in Goshala, a temple monastery, the membership of KAILASA, was attacked brutally by anti-Hindu forces, the Hindu media terrorists, who came violently and destroyed, broke the compound wall of the Adheenam monastery, the temple complex, completely illegally, without having any legal basis. The details we'll be sharing, but the main point is, till how long will it continue? We need to discuss this in detail.
And it isn't the first Indonesia attack on Thrishulam. Our Thrishulam campus is a beautiful sanctuary for many Hindus. Services like Adheenam, healing, and Hindu religious services are all offered inside the campus continuously and contributing to the community. Yes, of course, why would such a beautiful giving place need a wall? It is because in a history, the attack had happened before. And in the attack happened before, so much of violence, physical violence. We're talking about people attacking women, people attacking men, and that too sannyasis, people who have dedicated their life to serving other people, serving and healing the world. That is the life of a sannyasi. And that these people have been attacked and even sexually molested and put on hospitals where they have to be facing severe injuries. This is something that we have seen happen, and hence a wall was decided to be kept to protect ourselves. So that sannyasis can live, so this can be done properly without disturbance. Even women to embrace sannyas. That very wall was destroyed, and it was done as an illegal encroachment.
Yes. So if we go into the details of what really happened, the Thrishulam Adheenam, the KAILASA in Thrishulam in Chennai, dates back to around at least 40 to 50 years. It was in the possession of the Paramashivas. years ago, it was, and after that, it is being under the possession and legal ownership of spiritual embassy there, the temple, the Thrishulam Adheenam there. But constantly, even after that, even after legal having all the papers, all the ownership, running all the services, temple, just put it, Annadan, medical camps, healing services, each and every activity, all the temple activities, rituals happening consistently each and every day, serving the deities, serving the people who attend, who visit the temples to get blessings from the deities. And not just that, there are living beings, other living beings who are residing there in that campus, cows, horses, goats, all these people, all these beings are there. It's a proper, complete Hindu ecosystem as is given by our Shastras. But even after having the complete ownership and offering the services, constant persecution has been happening. In all these 14 years, consistently we have been brutally attacked by the anti-Hindu and anti-spiritual forces. The Hindu Mesia gang, which is globally operating, has also penetrated the deep state elements and through various ways continuously attacking, persecuting and trying to eliminate each and every Hindu ecosystem that is functioning authentically. Similarly, the Thrishulam Adheenam, one of the most authentic, genuine Hindu ecosystems established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, was offering all the services, Hindu Shastra-based services to all people, to the entire community residing around that campus. Even in 2017, wounds, they came, they attacked all the residents. They even sexually molested the nuns who were residing, offering services, who were taking care day in and day out, and also serving the people, the community. The men were threatened, were beaten if they did not leave, if they did not. So this kind of consistently, this whole 2017 incident was built around that whole in order to protect the people and riding in the Thrishulam Adheenam. But as we have seen, as we see the video which is being played live for all of you, is the destruction and the demolition of even that one bit of protection that the community built for themselves. The protection of that wall, even that has been destroyed, that has been demolished by the anti-Hindu gang, the anti-Hindu forces who have been operating there. And once the demolition happened, the details came that they had stuck a notice on the wall, on the compound wall of the Adheenam. And it was just a show cause notice. It was not even an eviction. There was no such mention of, that eviction, you will be evicted or something like that. There was no such.
And usually this would be given to the person, the owner.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. No such thing was done. That also, who knows what really exists? The wall doesn't even exist. That's what they are doing there. Right? Also, think that the last day, the day of in the notice it is mentioned that till 16th, you can see the video we have.
The ownership comes first, the cause for which they are there on the land.
The basic important the notice on the wall. Asking the explanation based on the fake allegation that it is not, that it is built on a government. So the explanation was asked that why are the inhabitants and residents of the kind of government? Explanation. And explanation, the last date was till 16th. What happened? On 15th itself, at around 11:30 or 12, the goons come in and destroy demolition. So even that notice is not being reversed of that would not be followed in letter. So yes, it's very clear that it's just one of the ways that is threatening the people who are residing there and just attempt somehow to eliminate the Hindu systems that are being running in that region. Also, a very staggering fact, which if I even think about it, 15th August this is happening. It is Independence Day of the country, right? And we see the basic freedom to live your life with dignity, to practice your lifestyle, your religion with dignity, the basic freedom which is given to us by the Constitution, given to us by even the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. Four basic freedoms. And even the authorities we see in the video, the authorities without taking any. So what does it say? Hindus are not safe. Hindus are under attack. They are constantly under attack. They are not safe. Their voices are not being heard. And their destruction, their genocide, their cultural genocide, their ethnic cleansing is just being watched by the international community without action. The least we could do is raise our voice to tell our story from our side what is happening. To keep on telling until someone listens, someone pays attention to these facts. The facts of destruction are right there in front of your eyes. It is not just a wall being demolished. It is the basic human right to live your life in protection, to live your lifestyle and do what you want to do in order to contribute to the world in your way. That basic freedom is being taken away. That basic human right is being taken away. And once this series of incidents continues one after the other, it clearly demonstrates the core agenda of the anti-Hindu forces, which is to eliminate, to destroy the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, because it is only these enlightenment ecosystems, enlightenment Hindu ecosystems, who have saved, who have protected Sanatana Hindu Dharma through centuries, if not millennia. It is only because of these ecosystems that we are even able to read even basic books. For example, Bhagavad Gita, we are able to read today. Yes. Only because thousands of gurus, incarnations, and people who were part of these ecosystems, who gave their life to protect these ecosystems, they are the ones who gave their blood to save these scriptures. Because of that, we even possess the Hindu identity today. And this is how that Hindu identity is being destroyed. Yes. Because of the destruction of these ecosystems, which yes. are responsible for saving, protecting the Hindu identity for coming generations. It is by destruction of these ecosystems that the Hindu identity is getting destroyed. The human rights, basic dignity, basic liberty of Hindus is being completely destroyed and taken away by these acts, by the forces, by the Hindu media forces, whose core agenda is nothing but to destroy Hinduism from planet Earth.
Yes. And we're also seeing, when many people have an interest, a passion they have inherited. This property is hundreds of years old. It belongs to heirlooms. Yes. People who are Hindus, who want to see Hinduism flourish, they are the ones who are seeking out the gurus like our beloved Bhagavan Swamiji, who is giving the light to all Hindus, that Hinduism has a beautiful future. It yes. can be thriving. It can be so contributing to the world. And yes. these devotees are giving the property to the Swamiji to flourish more and show that, yes, my inheritance of this is meant to be for Hinduism. So that whole karma, the punya of all of that is handed over. And then in that way, people feel so much relieved. It is that blessing happens when it's handed over to a good cause. You always feel, I am keeping this for some good cause. Everybody has this. Everybody who owns property or owns wealth, they want to give it over to a good cause. But suddenly, when every way you are seeing this kind of your purpose, when the good cause is continuously shut down and telling that you Annadanam. You cannot be in this place. You cannot be peaceful in this place. You will be continuously harassed. You'll be molested, attacked.
Yes.
Who knows? This is not a safe. Hindus know. They bring those properties for temples. See their heritage survive. These properties and the elements are doing so much for all of the aspiring to keep the tradition.
It's very important to understand the right context. I would urge watching this video which is being played on the screen right now. It is, see, when you see this destruction, when you see this demolition of this compound wall of the Thrishulam Adheenam, of the spiritual embassy of Kailasa at Thrishulam, I don't want you to see just this demolition of this wall. I want you to remember Nalanda. I want you to remember the destruction of Takshashila. I want you to remember the destruction of all the ecosystems, Hindu ecosystems that have happened for 1,000 years, one after the another. I want you to remember Kashi. I want you to remember Mathura. I want you to remember Bangladesh, Mopla, Kashmir. What has happened one after the other? Each and every ecosystem has been destroyed, has been demolished in this way. Through some way or the other. Instruments may vary. It could be swords, direct swords. It could be lawfare. It could be through the fake media, fake news. In fact, even what happened in Palghar, the mob lynching of two Hindu sadhus, Sri Kalpavriksha Giriji Maharaj and Sushil Giriji Maharaj, along with their assistant, by a huge mob of people who were just brainwashed against the whole Hindu ecosystem, against the values of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. All these things are connected. That is the point which we are trying to make here. All these things have the same story. They are the part of the same thread of persecution and genocide of Hindus, which has been happening all around the world for more than 2,000 years. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, who is the last surviving lamp of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, who has the authority, the traditional authority and the power to initiate others into this ancient spiritual science given by Paramashiva himself in Vedas and Agamas. He is the one who is raising the voice for all the Hindus, for all the persecuted Hindus. He is the one representing all the 2 billion Hindus worldwide today, raising the concern of their genocide, the human rights violations that they are facing everywhere. Hindu women being sexually molested, assaulted, Hindu men being completely killed and murdered by these anti-Hindu forces, and all the Hindu temples being destroyed, all the sampradayas, thousands of sampradayas, which the entire Sanatana Hindu Dharma ecosystem, the framework which it has, which it consists of years, only one. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only one raising the voice for all of these sampradayas of Hinduism, the destruction that they have, ethnic cleansing which they have been facing. Because of that, he has been facing so much of persecution, so much of a brutal persecution that he has been facing for 2 decades now. Especially in the last decade, which he has been forced to leave the country, his own motherland. Yes. Such a situation. And now even the spiritual embassies that Kailasa is operating in the countries, even they are under attack. Just basically he's not being allowed to work the way he wants to work for the Hindu community, for the entire global community, in fact.
Yes.
That is the persecution which we are going through.
Yes, Maharaj, and you can see in the video that is being presented here, there is a line of beings there. They are not people, actually, those are deities. Yes, the Thrishulam Adheenam houses over hundreds of deities that are blessed and are going through the traditional energizing process to be shared to all the Kailasa embassies around the world to build the temples. Thrishulam had the work of taking care of the deities and making sure that they are made and also given to the world. Those deities you are seeing in the video, and those deities were also damaged by the actions that were done a few days ago. And you can see that this is, as Maharaj was sharing, a part of the history itself that we are all turning a blind eye to. It is the temples that are the ecosystems. Those temples were completely destroyed. There are parts of the world where temples were flourishing like anything just hundreds of years ago.
Yes.
But now they are not even able to be there because in those times you didn't have the videographic videos or photos to show that this is how it was done, destroyed. But we are able to show you that this destruction continues today with the same kind of elements that are trying to stop Hinduism from flourishing, stop Hinduism from even being able to breathe. It is completely choking the last bits of Hinduism and preventing it to thrive. And as Maharaj is sharing, the last hope is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hundreds and hundreds of temples around the world have been created, deities energized according to and created according to the proper Agama Shastras. Those are all today we can see some of them were even damaged and destroyed in this brutal destruction of Hindu temple property.
Yes. In fact, it's very important to understand that Hindu ecosystem is a temple-based ecosystem. It's a temple-centric ecosystem. And deities who are not just the part, who are actually the owners of that ecosystem. They are the real, the legal entity even, who are the owners of that whole temple property. Others are only the caretakers. The human beings are only the caretakers of the deities and the temples and the temple property, just for serving and making sure that dharma is kept alive in that ecosystem. But what has happened, what we see even now, the deities being assaulted and the whole property being damaged, it is basically a statement that the anti-Hindu forces are trying to make, especially when it happens on the day of the independence, making a statement that you are not really free. You may think that you are free, you may say that you are free, you are independent, but you are not. Because we are hitting you at the very core of your murtis. That is the statement. That is why it is a very horrific incident to really contextualize it properly in the proper historical context, what is really happening. The persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not a standalone persecution or a series of persecution events. It is, if we could say, the climax, so to speak, of the whole 2 millennia long persecution and genocide that the Hindus are facing. And even after the persecution, even after the physical murdering and this physical torture, in the current modern day scenario, completely denying that Holocaust, completely denying the genocide of Hindus that has happened. Not only that, in addition to that, twisting the whole story, the whole narrative as a very anti-Hindu portrayal of the entire history of the Hindu civilization, blaming the Hindu civilization as being the root cause of all evils. We see that all of these things, all of these perverted ideologies being spread the world today just to justify that you are seeing right now, the brutal attacks of actual destruction of the ecosystem. All those ideologies, all those anti-Hindu narratives, just this murdering, this torture and this brutal genocide of the Hindu civilization and the people who are following the Hindu civilization, the Hindus all over the world.
Yes.
That's why we're contextualizing it for the people to understand the breaking of the deities is an assault to the core values of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and direct assault on the people who are following the traditions, who are following ancient Hindu practices, originally, authentically based on the Shastras, based on the Vedas, but they are not allowed to do so. On the very day of the claimed independence, some goons are coming in and attacking them, making a statement that you are not going to live. It's only based on us, what we tell you to do, to basically even live. So that is a statement that they're trying to make.
Yes, and we are seeing also the facts don't play out. There was a supposedly a post of a paper posted on the wall, and that should have been given by hand, and that was not an eviction notice. It was something that was to asking the owner of the property to show the cause for which they are occupying that area, which is his own space. And then we are seeing that the next day, by this date, you have days to go out and tell us occupying this space. Before even that time is given, the property is immediately destroyed in the way that you're seeing the video happening. The compound wall is destroyed. And one more important thing, especially very sentimental to Hindus, is the living there. Yes, it is very crucial to the Hindu ecosystem. The Gomata is and all of us who celebrate that we even drink milk and celebrate products that we have. And if you are a Hindu, understand that Gomata herself. And if we the reports are telling us that the Gomata, the Goshala, and all of the animals, the goats, who are all living there so peacefully, were completely beaten. From an understanding of the Hindu sentiments, those are our friends, our living beings that live. Yes. We take care of them, they take care of us. It is a beautiful ecosystem. And this is what we have seen, where all of these properties and these the values of the cow and the goat, and having them in our life, they are treasure for us. Yes. And for us, they provide so much. And then they see the way that they are just simply beaten and then sent away, such that we cannot even have them again, take care of them. So much of concern is happening here. Where are they? How are they doing? Are they okay to have their meal? All of these are concerns for Hindus. Many may not know, but as living in a Hindu and caring for so many different types of beings, all of these concerns are there. It's the same way you would have a concern if you have a pet animal. If that animal is not there and somebody has taken, you have to go away for some time, how you will be concerned. That same way, we are all concerned Goshala and have that ecosystem. All of those are living beings. It is a deep Hindu sentiment to take care of them as our mother, as our sister, as a part of our family. All those sentiments are completely destroyed by such acts of such brutal destroying property and just occupying and removing the original purpose for what the land was established for by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So all of these is really, we have to have this discussion on why is even understanding that so many elements that are there, that are part of the Hindu ecosystem, are simply being wiped out so subtly, such a way that nobody can answer the question why these are being done.
Yes, exactly. Has been raising these concerns for, he has been so brutal. And again, all his Adheenams, all his spiritual have been under attack. All again and again, these, for example, in when a similar mob simply There were tie-ups with the schools and the universities, educational front, Annadan, all of these things in the temple, and the temple complex was flourishing, but the whole thing was destroyed completely. Similar incidents, again and again, the same thing. In Salem, the same thing happened. All the spiritual of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism of Kailasa are facing similar attacks. Not to mention all the other spiritual ecosystems of Sanatana Hindu Dharma created by other enlightened beings and incarnations. Whoever has tried to do something to revive, to even to maintain the Sanatana Hindu Dharma at its present state, they are being met with a brutal force by these anti-Hindu forces. All the people, it's basically an anti-guru, anti-spiritual mafia that we are talking about, and that is what Hindus need to understand what they are up against. It is not just the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that is being attacked. He is being attacked because he is trying to protect Hindus. He is trying to protect you. That's why he is attacked. Kalpavriksha Giriji Maharaj, Sushil Giriji Maharaj in Palghar, they did not meet that fate of mob lynching and dying by the hands of hundreds of people just like that. They were representing something. They were representing the core values of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. They were sannyasis who were stepping up and raising their voice to protect Dharma, to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. That is why they met that fate, because they were trying to protect you, all the Hindus. In fact, all this entire planet Earth can be saved if Hinduism is saved, if Sanatana Hindu Dharma is protected and revived, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. And that is what these anti-spiritual forces don't want. Again and again and again, incident after incident, we can go by numbers, even dates, so much of attacks, so many atrocities, so much of atrocity literature which they generate, so much of cultural genocide that happens it happens in various spaces. It happens in the intellectual space through intellectual literature, anti-Hindu literature. It happens in the media. So much of media slandering, media fake news, fake allegations being thrown against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and other genuine, authentic Hindu gurus who are serving the community, who have given their whole life to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. We see this again and again. Cultural genocide, ethnic cleansing that the Hindus have faced and are still facing, and they will continue to face, God forbid, if we don't do anything, if we don't take a harsh step, if we don't wake up. If the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is urging all the Hindus to wake up, to see what is happening around them. When we show this current video of the demolition of the wall, of the destruction of one of the temple ecosystem, a vibrant, thriving temple ecosystem, a spiritual embassy of Kailasa, it should trigger the right sentiments in all the Hindus, reminding them of the core values which need to be protected, which are under attack by the anti-Hindu forces. Each and every element of this ecosystem is built, it is being crafted intelligently by our rishis, all our incarnations, to make sure Dharma is kept alive, and that's why these ecosystems are under attack.
Yes, whether it is the Goshala, whether it is the temple, whether it is the agriculture in the Thrishulam, we were self-sustaining. We were able for ourselves. We were burdened on us. In fact, we were contributing continuously with the food that we were growing. We were cooking food and giving that as for people. We were a contributing unit. And this way, we are seeing the absolute negativity. See, we are seeing the pictures of the celebrations of the traditional Hindu festivals, of the Shivaratri, of the Navaratri, of all of the, in a place where so much of Hinduism is celebrated. We are seeing the deities, magnificent deities, and the arts being revived, specifically in the Thrishulam, where the deities were being protected and they're being made, and all of that work was being done. We are seeing that possibility continuously, again and again, being stopped because of these anti-Hindu elements. We are seeing that they are completely not understanding that we are contributing to the whole community, and we can see even the authorities are just standing by, and the public is feeling in their hearts, they are seeing the whole thing that wait, this place is my home, this place is something that has given me food when I needed it, this is a place that gave me spiritual counseling and understanding when I was not well. It brought my family together. All of these contributions is what the community is watching when they're seeing. We are seeing so many people watching these videos. All of them are not able to understand suddenly how from nowhere such destruction can happen for a very peaceful contributing place. How can such destruction happen? People are just stilled. They're not able to comprehend and understand that why this kind of a thing can happen in a Hindu ecosystem that's doing so much of a contribution. And we're seeing all the devotees gathering, all the people who are connected to the temple coming and seeing how they're literally rejuvenating their lives, but just because they're Hindu, just because they stand for having deities, just because they stand for the Hindu ecosystem, having the Goshala, having the self-sustainability with the agriculture, just because of all of this, the properties are attacked, the cars are overturned, everything is completely, the anger that is there does not make any sense. But we have seen because of the repeated attack, we had to do so much. Hence, before actually there was no wall in Thrishulam. But you're seeing the photos that the evidence is there in 2017. The attacks happened on the Hindu sannyasis, on the beautiful ecosystem that was there, on the female sannyasis. They were molested. And you can see the anger is such that even the properties that belong to the agencies, those are also destroyed in the anger. People are not making sense of that their sentiments are hurt, and they don't know that it is the Hindu sentiments that are hurt. But it is Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who's doing so much to give that Hindu identity back from the grassroots level in temples all over. Yes. And we are seeing now also the properties of the cars and all of these. These are all photos of the attack that happened in 2017. Hindu sannyasi is not able to see if they'll be able to walk again, if they'll be able to have their bodies function because of the heaviness of the beatings that they got. We are seeing so much of destruction happen. And again, the resilience of Hindus is kept alive even though we have been destroyed. We are seeing even we come back and build. And yes, that is the same way Swamiji has taught us. He has taught us to rebuild. We built the wall around the whole compound to protect us. And also taking care that we are always allowing and understanding with the authorities what it is that we need to do, how we need to take care of the place. Everything was followed up by us, and made sure that everything is safe and it is a beautiful environment where anybody, and especially young Hindu sannyasis, can celebrate their tradition. And anybody who has a need for Hinduism in their life, they can come there and learn about the tradition and find their Hindu identity again and live a successful life. All of these were there in the ecosystem, but the wall is broken, and there is no way that we can see how we do find any justice here. We encourage everyone who's watching to reach out and see how we can find justice. You can share this video, comment your thoughts, share this to all of the people that you understand can help atrocity from and again is sharing with us that it may be in one or two places that you may by accident hear the news of temples being destroyed, Hindus being molested, or destruction happening at levels. But it is our responsibility as Hindus to share the word, and that is why Hinduism is standing up for that possibility that we can rebuild, but we have to bring word out to everyone that these destructions are happening. So share this video and tell everyone that this is the way that Hinduism is being continuously wiped out, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing the hard work amongst all of us Hindus to really build and stand and build the wall to protect Hinduism. and in all ways possible also, even by coming out and giving us the first nation for Hindus. That is itself a wall that can help protect Hindus from any of these atrocities from happening. Yes, it is time to tell these true histories. These are not some mythology. These are actual evidence that we need to continuously tell people. So, encouraging everyone to share.
Yes. It's very important for all of us to spread this news as much as possible with all your friends, with your family, with your anyone you know, just even for the simple sake of seeing a human rights violation happening, and which has been happening not just for decades, not just for centuries, but millennia. The whole of Hindu civilization consisted of 56 nations during the time of Mahabharata, now has been contained within a single, not more than maybe 2000 kilometer geography. How has it happened? It's happened systematically by again and again these forces coming and destroying the ecosystems one by one. Because Hinduism, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, has this architecture of many decentralized ecosystems, spiritual ecosystems, self-sustained ecosystems, as Maharaj just put it, functioning in complete cohesion with each other, and at the same time having and maintaining the central authority of Vedas and Agamas and all the ecosystems running based on the principles, the core principles of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is being laid down by Paramashiva himself in Vedas and Agamas. So this whole ecosystem being destroyed, is very important for us to understand what is really getting destroyed here. It is not just a wall, it is not just a property, it's not just a building. It's much more than that. In fact, we would say it's much more than even the people. It is the values that those people are standing up for. It is the core principles that they are trying to live by, that they have dedicated their entire lives to protect. Those principles, those values are at stake, are in danger. And if we even look at each and every contribution which these ecosystems are making, for example, even if we talk about the ecosystem, the Thrishulam ecosystem, which we are seeing in the video getting completely destroyed by these anti-Hindu forces,
Yes.
one by one, we can see Annadan
Yes.
as being one of the contributions,
Yes.
serving free food, ensuring a hunger-free world, that not even a single mouth goes hungry, unfed. That is one of the contributions. Another contribution in terms of education, providing free education, that to an indigenous Hindu identity-based education to the kids, to the next generation, making them confident Hindu leaders of tomorrow. Goshala, agriculture, organic, pure Hindu agriculture being practiced. We talk about so many things at the international level, so many things are happening. Especially in the West, we talk about organic farming. We talk about sustainable goals. The United Nations has laid down the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. If we actually look at any particular Hindu ecosystem running authentically, we will find each and every of these 17 Sustainability Development Goals being met, being ensured. Not just since today, not just since last 10 to 15 years, since these SDGs have been put into practice, but for thousands and thousands of years since Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been practiced on the planet Earth. All of these values, all of these cohesive values for a peaceful, better humanity, for the climate, for the environment, a protected environment, all of these things towards level, especially based on the values in the United Nations, all of these things are all being put into practice in the Hindu. It's important for us to understand that when these ecosystems are being destroyed, the possibility for a better planet is being destroyed. And it's a very powerful possibility. Each and every of these ecosystems for humanity, for the entire humanity. Any of these contributions, if we talk about protecting the Hindu, the original Vedas and Agamas and all the allied scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, whatever is left now, 99% has been destroyed already. 1%, what is left, reviving them, preserving them. That is what this monastery has been doing. Feeding the hungry mouths, that is what this monastery was doing. Is that a crime? Doing rituals, seva to all the deities of Paramashiva, is that a crime? Feeding the hungry people, is that a crime? Doing organic agriculture, sure, chemical-free food reaches all the people as much as possible. Is that a crime? For what has this ecosystem been attacked? Is there any one legitimate reason? And even the so-called reason which has been given is also fake. It's just fake media propaganda. There is absolutely no basis for what has happened, for what you see. It is just a brutal, illegal, violent act on people following a particular faith, a particular religion, a particular way of life. And we see this again and again, even in the surrounding areas. So many temples are getting destroyed. It's like a gods falling.
Yes.
So many temples are getting destroyed.
Again and again, Maharaj, that whenever it comes to specifically standing up again, such more violence is kept. People in the comments sharing with us again that they understand this, and we want to encourage understanding the sentiments that we are they're expressing here that are being destroyed, and how they may directly connect. Many of us won't even understand if we're just watching this on a mobile or watching this on a TV. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is again and again warning and sharing that unless it happens to you or unless it happens to your neighbor, don't wait for that day. Don't wait for the day when the danger is there at your doorstep. Don't wait for that day. Make the action now. Do the work now to build that wall, to do the necessary things to protect Hinduism, to protect these ecosystems. Do not wait for that, because it's something many of you may not be understanding. These are just pictures that there's a timestamp happening in some remote corner of the world. But you will be our message will understand when the danger is on your doorstep, and that which you thought was Hindu and you just took it for granted all these days, suddenly is taken away, just like that. And that is the way that Hinduism is being attacked for millennia. And we're seeing that is continuing in such a high speed, violent way that it is time to really stand up as the Supreme Pontiff, to really stand up and voice out all of these information and the news that is happening about it. And this is something that needs to be embraced by all types of media. Yes, we are interested in telling about the stories about people. Yes, these are all people who are continuously, their sentiments are hurt. The possibility for the children that live there to go and celebrate with the deities, to go learn about their Hindu identity, is being taken away. The possibility for those children to solidify that they can give free food and have a place to eat. Even if you're in poverty or hungry, you have somewhere to go eat. Even that possibility is being stopped.
Yes.
And we're seeing so much of the properties of the walls being removed. But this is just not done in any legal way at all. It was done absolutely as an illegal encroachment. The videos that you're watching right now, if you're just now tuning in, you must know that this is an attack on a Hindu temple, a spiritual ecosystem that gives free food, that reduces the crime rate of the society around. Yes, this is a celebration, because by giving free food, you are making people feel secure. And the desperation to do crime and steal reduces. That is the way that Hinduism has ingrained in it, the way to heal a society and create that enlightened civilization, by healing the people of their small tendencies, of their desperation for food or anything else. And that is an Hindu ecosystem. That is what Swamiji is protecting. That is what we are telling you, that in these videos is the possibility of such peace and contribution is being stopped by such illegal activities done by anti-Hindu elements, by destroying the properties, removing the Hindu element, removing the sentiments like the Goshalas or the cows and the goats that survive inside this Hindu ecosystem. All of them were beaten and sent away. All of us are now worried. How do we take care of these our precious animals, our precious friends? And this is all a concern. And then now the deities were also destroyed. Once the deities are touched, how do we now protect our traditions?
Yes.
We need to stand up. So please share this video. Please communicate with everyone that this kind of atrocity is happening and justice is needed. And Kailasa is working continuously, bringing this to the attention of the whole world.
Yes.
Yes, and then we have many people commenting, also sharing the spiritual war is big time. Yes, it's going on. It's real. Please let us open our eyes. We're showing you the footage from just a few days ago, where it just on the 16th of August, the day after the independence, that day, they are seeing this destruction happen. This video, and on the day of when this happened, it was the 15th of August at 11:30 a.m. And the notice for this was given a day ahead, but not even for this. It was just for the owner to show up and say, what's the purpose of the land that you are having? But we're seeing such violent action taken, and we need the justice.
Yes, it's very clear, Manoj. It's just this notice and all. It's just a hogwash, basically. It's not even a real reason. The real reason is that Hindu civilization is under attack, and the reason of being the anti-Hindu forces who don't want the Hindu civilization to exist at all. They want to eliminate the entire Hindu civilization from planet Earth, which they have been persistently doing again and again for centuries, for millennia. Even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared, he described very in detail how this whole shrinking of the territory of the Hindu civilization has happened, and how, because of our own negligence, this has happened. It is very, very important. For example, in the Cambodia,
Yes, it was such a large
Yes.
tradition, and it was something that was so big, vast, and even we sometimes even ask, no way, we were served so much to the world, contributing, yes, and giving
Yes.
as a civilization solution, living enlightened civilization. That's what
Yes.
we were.
Exactly. And just to continue with the point that we were trying to make, such a civilization, so many territory, so much expansion to so much of territory, 56 nations being running with the under the constitution. But what really happened? Forces one attacking the ecosystems, first starting with the peripheral ecosystems. But the sad thing is, when the peripheral ecosystems were under attack, the people who were serious, they did not pay attention. They did not come. They completely elected what, and so the peripheral territories, forces came in and started attacking the people who were inside, interiors. Nobody was there to save them at that time. But even then, the people who were even in the other territories, who were still safe, even they continued with their negligence, who did not come to rescue the other Hindu brothers and sisters who were under attack at that time.
Yes.
They were destroyed as well. So this has been continuing again and again, so much of neglect, so much of negligence that we on our side have been showing again and again, which we have to correct. There's a huge course correction that is needed from our own side to make sure this genocide, this attack, the entire persecution of Hindus doesn't continue the way it is happening right now. Yes, Maharaj, you were
Yes,
sharing.
we have even the comments are sharing. Maybe they're coming to the root cause of this, and they're saying that it is fear and ignorance that causes violence. See, we have to understand one thing here. If this comes to your doorstep, if a guy is going to come and destroy your property, how you'll respond, how the fear will come from inside of you. Yes, fear is there. It is a tool. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says it is not something that we use to destroy ourselves or others as a violence as you're sharing. It is something to become knowing that, wait, we are under attack. Since somebody, see, Hindus are among us are very oblivious of one thing. We think that Hinduism is all about the peace, and having connecting with Hinduism is we can live in a very peaceful way, and we can have a vacation from all of the fears and the negative feelings in our lives. And if we're embracing a Hindu lifestyle, we don't have to. We can live very cozily, but we don't understand that that is not what, because we felt like that, so much was able to be under attack. I mean, if you can just see the history of the threats, someone out there is thinking Hinduism is a threat to them. Somebody is thinking that we have to strategize and plan and destroy these people and destroy this ecosystem and not make any possible. Somebody is doing so much of work and planning, and they themselves are feeling threatened by us, who are sitting and thinking, oh, we're just a peace loving and something like this, and we are not good. We should feel threatened by those who feel threatened by us being peaceful. We need to understand that there is that fear and ignorance is not the way that we should look into the fear and protect ourselves.
Yes.
We should feel the fear and see where all we can get attacked. It was only when this actually happened to us, Swamiji, there's so much work to build the Kailasa nation, to say that we need this safe haven. We need a place so Hindus can be protected. This is the voice that he's bringing out, because it was when we were attacked from the beginning. And once when it became too much, it was the time to build. And we have also a comment from a Pietri who's sharing. Nityanandam, everyone, let's all unite to stop this blatant attack on Hinduism. We should unite as one and stand our ground. And yes, welcome to the discussion that we're having here. Yes, it is time to unite, but understand also, where are we using our emotions in a wrong way? And where are we just, in the name of peace, just becoming lazy, Maharaj? We can...
it is the same criminal negligence that the Supreme Pontiff, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been talking about. So many times he has been talking about the criminal negligence of the Hindus, which is being one of the major reasons for the whole destruction of the Hindu civilization that we have faced. We have to understand that yes, as the comments are coming in, that this whole violence that is happening is based out of ignorance. So what is the solution? Solution is protecting the principles of non-violence, protecting the principles of ahimsa, of asteya, of aparigraha, of satya, all these basic principles which Sanatana Hindu Dharma stands for. These have to be protected. We have to work, we have to put effort to protect these principles so that the ignorance and the delusion around us can be destroyed and we can live in a harmonious way, peaceful way, joyfully, and the whole planet Earth can flourish. So we have to take responsibility, we have to act in order to protect these values. And what is the way to protect these values? It is through institutions. The strength of any civilization is based upon its institutions, the strength of its institutions. And if we actually look at the history, all the civilizations that have been destroyed, the starting of that destruction happened by destroying the major institutions of that civilization. Institutions which protected the people, institutions which protected the values of that civilization, institutions that were responsible for the flourishing, for the economics of that society. All of these institutions, law, the legal institutions of that civilization, all of these institutions were destroyed, because of which the people, the masses of that civilization were left completely unprotected, unguided, leaderless, and ultimately facing a genocide, complete genocide. Similarly, we see in the Hindu civilization, temple ecosystem is the fundamental institution of Hindu civilization. All of the other institutions, for example, the libraries, the knowledge centers, the gurukuls, the Goshalas, the agricultural institutions which make sure the civilization is fed in a completely healthy way, right? Healthcare, free healthcare, which is the fundamental principle of Hindu economy. All of these things are protected only by Hindu institutions, or temple-based institutions. And by destroying these institutions is simply the way of destroying the Hindu civilization. We have to see what is really happening. It is on one side, it's okay to understand, yes, it's all violence which is based on ignorance, but what are we really doing about it? Ultimately, the violence is going to come at my doorstep, right? All these people are going to come and to kill me and to molest my wife, for example. What am I going to do at that time? Am I just going to philosophize and say that, yes, it's all based on ignorance and non-violence? What am I going to do is the question. What are we going to do collectively to save our brothers and sisters, to save our institutions, to save our temples, to save our universities, to save our gurukuls? Our gurukuls are responsible for maintaining these values of ahimsa that we are talking about. If the gurukuls are not there, how will our children know? Because our children are already under the grip of the violent media and entertainment. They are watching every day on Netflix all the violent shows anyway. Only the gurukuls will be able to save them. Only the spiritual masters, gurus will be able to save them, initiate them into the proper, powerful cognitions. If our gurukul itself is not there, if the gurus are themselves not there, what are we going to do? These institutions are important. The gurus who are at the center of these institutions, who are the power source of these institutions. Very important point that all the Hindu institutions are not just socio-political, economic. They are enlightenment based. So the source, the major guidance comes from an enlightened being, an incarnation, a guru. He only has the wisdom and the authority, the traditional authority, the adhikara, to really set the course for that civilization, for that ecosystem. That is why the Hindu gurus are under attack. Hindu gurus, maintaining the Hindu ecosystems, both are being destroyed one by one. We are seeing a series of destruction. Like a deck of cards, as we put it earlier, all these Hindu institutions are being razed to ground. All the Hindu gurus who are maintaining these institutions, who are protecting the values, who are protecting the people from all the anti-Hindu forces, they are getting destroyed by various means, by fake news, by media slander, by propaganda, by lawfare, by using the law pervertedly against them. All these various means.
The murders.
Exactly.
There are assassination attempts.
Exactly.
There are staged suicides. All these kind of things are done against the Hindu gurus who are at, as Maharaj is saying, at the center of it all, trying to protect it, trying to do the work of really, really looking at how we have to take the fear that we are denying ourselves and take it and become more intelligent, use it to really protect ourselves properly. We have some of the comments also sharing. People are saying, how can people do this? That's not the question we should ask. The real question is, people are doing it. How come we are not doing as much as they are doing to destroy Hinduism? How come we are not doing more to protect it? And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. He's a genius. The way he is saying that Hinduism needs the nation today, it's the moment. Is Paramashiva's direct blessing, the guidance for all Hindus to say it needs to be protected first. More people are sharing in the comments that Kala Bhairava protects Sevas, and Nityanamaya Priyananda Nityanandam appreciating your support. Yes, we have to share this this word to everyone, how Hinduism is being brutally attacked, and also bring the awareness as Hindus, how we are just oblivious of all of this.
Yes.
Just taking non-violence, as Maharaj is saying, non-violence is a strength in ourselves. Non-violence does not mean the absence of intelligence. It does not mean the absence of strategizing or the absence of thinking through how to protect, or to just to say that I don't need to protect anything, something will take care of me. No, we are seeing evidence again and again from millennia that Hinduism is being wiped out. And as we were sharing, from 56 deshas to not just small pockets in just one small geography. We are seeing it so reduced, and it is the time the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing the work to bring awareness to all Hindus. And all of those who are even new Hindus, who are joining us in the comments, who have embraced the practices of Hinduism and are celebrating. It is time for you also to know that this narrative, this true history, is something that is going to be a part of our history. It is going to be a part of Hindu history, and it has to be a part of all Hindus' history, and it is important to share this. Lord Yinan is telling, this is just horrible. How can man be such a denial to attack others' religion and traditions? We have to do something. I think we have to sharpen our intelligence. This is a fact of history, that people will be just savages and violent and wipe out any possibility of peace. It is time to become intelligent and put the right things in place for us to have the protection. That same intelligence was there. If people are not understanding why we don't need walls in Thrishulam, we'll put up a wall, but we will have to continue contributing. Yes. What to do? We want to contribute continuously, but when the attacks happen, we do so much to have to protect ourselves. That's a lot of the work that we are seeing. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is actually one of the persons taking a step among many, many Hindus to say that Hinduism needs the protection, Hinduism needs the nation, it needs that much of protection.
Yes. And it's in fact, that is the reason why he created Kailasa, the first nation for all Hindus. Kailasa is created because what you see on your screen right now. Gurus, today's gurus, Hindu gurus, are not able to do what they want to do, to contribute to the community, to make sure the future generations of Hindus, the Hindu children, continue to live by the values of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. They are not able to do. They are continuously under attack. So a fort had to protect the system, and that fort, that infrastructure is Kailasa.
Yes. People are also asking when this happened, and just to give you, this is something that was completely done by anti-Hindu elements, and yes, it doesn't make sense that there is any right by anybody to do this.
Yes.
There was a notice given, not for any eviction or any saying please remove yourself from this property, we are going to come and take over. None of that warning was given. It was just a notice to ask the owner of this beautiful property, this owner who is giving it to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, knowing that he will set up a temple and give so many things, contributing to his very community that surrounds that whole place. And then when that work is happening, a notice has come to ask the owner, hey, please share your reason for occupying this area. Then that was the notice. It gave time for a day and a half till the 16th.
This happened on 14th evening.
Yes.
14th evening.
Yes.
The notice had the date.
शिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम्